Hello, everybody. Hope everybody is well. This is day number 4, my experience in Las Vegas. And day number 4, you all, was just mind blowing. This was the first time, well, besides going to the mountains yesterday, on day number 3, this was the first time that I had actually ever been down to a national park to actually see more mountains and to actually climb those mountains that were kind of unsafe. I guess I can say that too. I guess in a way, but just to let you all know, we actually drove through Arizona, then went down to Utah. It was about a 2.5 hour drive to get down there, and we went to Zion National Park. Now, you all, I have never even heard of this park. One of the friends that I had up there in Vegas, she and her 3 kids, and then 2 of the other guys that were staying with them for their Airbnb. They all went. I guess we all went along as a group. That kind of thing. Drove 2 cars down, had a picnic, that kind of thing as well. But it was beautiful, y'all. Like I said, even the drive down to Utah was beautiful. We drove through. I don't know what highway we were on. I couldn't even tell you, but I know that we did drive through. I believe 2 Indian reservations, and I cannot think of the name of the Indian reservations at all right now. If I can find it in anything, like any pictures that I have, that kind of thing, I will post it for you all. If not, just try to look it up on your own on the maps, that kind of thing. But I know we did drive through 2 Indian reservations. We got, let me see. I don't know how far we were from the place, but once we were like going into Utah, leaving Arizona, we were like on this highway. And all you see just looking on both sides was like these big old giant mountains, y'all. It was just so beautiful. I had never seen scenery like that before in my life. Not this kind of natural, just pristine beauty, I guess you can say. And like I said, there was traffic, so that of course gave us time to, of course, snap pictures while we were driving, that kind of thing, and stop the car, of course, while we were doing that kind of thing as well. Like I said, it was just awesome, y'all. Just going down, just driving to that was just beautiful to see. And going into, I don't think I even wrote that on here. Shoot, but going into like the town, I think it was called Springdale. Yeah, Springdale, Utah. That's where the park is actually located. Zion National Park is located in Springdale, Utah. And driving into, of course, maybe like 10 minutes from like the national park, there is like a town that you go through. Actually, there were several towns that you go through. One town I had to stop. I know we couldn't stop going, of course. So we, of course, stopped on the way back, and I'll let you all know about that as well. But going, like I said, they had resorts. They had like hotels. They had like all these shops and stores, and they, of course, all the places that we saw had the shuttle stops for Zion National Park. Because, of course, in order for you to get into the park, you either have to walk or drive or go by shuttle. I guess I put it that way. Well, the shuttle drops you off at the main gate, and then you go ahead and go on in. Because everybody, of course, has to pay a fee in order to get into the park. You either pay the fee as a separate person, or you pay the fee as a vehicle, bus, whatever kind of transportation you're on. So like I said, that was just awesome, you all. Just seeing like all the small towns and the different, my eyes are itching, I'm sorry. And the different things that we drove through. Like I said, we saw a few different hotels, several shops, some eateries, places, of course, I've never heard of, that kind of thing. And the food looked and smelled so good, y'all. But like I said, as far as going down there, that scenery was just amazing. I thought the mountains yesterday was amazing, of course, y'all. I thought it was amazing going through Vegas and going up to like the Spring Mountains and that kind of thing. But these mountains we saw in Utah and Arizona, they were like double that size, y'all. That they were just huge. I was like, oh my God. And most of it appeared as though we did touch a lot of it, actually, of course, walking up, that kind of thing. So a lot of that was actually like rock formations, I guess I can say. And of course, like I said, once we got on in, got our car through, found parking, of course, there was areas where you can, like rest areas, use the bathroom, all that kind of stuff. And they had several different shuttles. So we, of course, took one of the shuttles up to see like because we all wanted to see like the waterfalls and the streams and all that kind of stuff. So we did, of course, go. I don't know the name of the shuttle. I know it was green. Like had like a green line going through it. That's all I can remember. But as far as riding that shuttle, going up to like our drop off spots, I think there was 9 drop off spots, like for that particular shuttle. Y'all, the views were just amazing. I did snap a lot of photos. I know I can't post the photos on YouTube, but I did post them on my Instagram and on Facebook, and I think a few on Twitter, but mostly they're on Instagram and Facebook. So if you all want to check those out, it's the same name, Tonetta Clay. The same name as this channel. It's all on, like I say, on those social media sites. And I believe my pages are open, so you can just go see the pictures and leave comments if you like that kind of thing as well. Or add me as a friend as well. That is also fine. But like I said, as far as actually going into this park, it was just so beautiful, y'all. I was just in awe. I mean, I kept seeing like big giant birds, and I think they said there were falcons, eagles. There was like some mountain sheep, and like different like animals that of course we'd see. I guess like as we like walked around, that kind of thing. And I can't, I guess, give you like per stop like what we did, that kind of thing, because of course I couldn't record. We had no Wi-Fi, we had no internet service. Of course, the only thing we could do was just take some pictures and things like that, and until we got back down to like the lower levels so we can get like the actual service and had Wi-Fi and that kind of thing from the actual park. So other than that, we didn't have any, like I said, service going up in the mountains. And just let me tell y'all about that. I know the mountains we went to yesterday at the Spring Mountains in Las Vegas, those mostly we actually drove up those mountains until we got to the point where we had to get off and walk down maybe like a mile down this little path to get to like the snow and the ski slopes and that kind of thing. But for the most part, we actually drove that. But for here in Utah, we actually had to walk that. I guess I put it that way. So walk that talk. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, we had to walk that. Getting off at these different stops. We got off at like 4 or 5 stops, y'all. And we walked at least about 15 to 20 miles, actually. Some of the walking, it was just like, oh my God, it's a lot. It was going up like steep hills or steep rocks, I guess you could say. And you all, this is my first time. I know they always say black folks don't go hike or black folks don't do this, that kind of thing. And it's for everybody else, which is for anybody. It was all kind of races out there, of course, at this national park. But as far as me actually just experiencing this for the first time, that's kind of how I felt like, oh my God, this is just awesome. So like I said, it was just an awesome thing in order to, of course, see and to experience and to actually walk and hike up the actual mountains themselves. And like I said, you all, I didn't realize that I know when I went to the mountains yesterday in Las Vegas, I know I was, of course, getting out of breath and that kind of thing. And I had to slow down a little bit, my speaking and my slow down, my walking. Like I said, I was getting a lot more out of breath and that kind of thing than I normally do. But walking up and actually hiking up in these rocks and what is it called? Unpaved, like paths and all that kind of stuff. You really would get out of breath, just to let you all know, because I know I did. I felt lightheaded at the time. I had to stop, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? But like I said, I know I had to stop and rest, and because I was just trying to go and go and go because I was so excited. So I was just like, oh my God, I have to slow myself down in order to, of course, finish this. Because like I said, if I wouldn't have slowed myself down, I probably would have honestly passed out or not, of course, been able to finish the actual hike. So like I said, we did hike about 15 to 20 miles on various trails that we got on. And I didn't realize, y'all, that walking up the actual paths of the mountains, that there is like no side rails. There's nothing that you really hold on to. So if you fall off that damn cliff, you just fall off and die. It's usually how that goes. I didn't know that. Like I said, I never knew that. I mean, I never, of course, been to the mountains to actually walk up them. Like I said, the drive yesterday, there was a drive and it was like a paved road and that kind of thing. But actually walking up all these places that we actually stopped at, that was very different. Like I said, I'm not afraid of heights at all. But as far as me, like looking over like the side, that kind of thing, and seeing like how deep it was and how slanted, I guess, like the grounds were and that kind of thing, that was interesting. So I tried to stay closer to the rocks. So I wouldn't, of course, get like on the side where there was like no protection, that kind of thing. And the path wasn't even that big, y'all. It wasn't even big enough for 2 people to walk side by side on the same path, unless that person was a child or somebody smaller, that kind of thing. The path was kind of small, so when somebody's coming like heading your way, I guess like turning around, coming back, or just going the opposite way, they kind of have to like move to the side, that kind of thing, on some of the trails. Like I said, this was just very, very interesting. Like I said, I wasn't scared of that kind of thing at all, but I was just like, oh my goodness, if I make the wrong move, or one of these kids make the wrong move, or one of the folks that we came with make the wrong move, well, how in the hell we can't really catch them, or that kind of thing at all. So we all just had to make sure that we all, of course, talked about that, make sure that we were all careful going on all these trails. And of course, the kids, of course, they're all under 10. I believe they're under 10. So of course, we had to make sure that they were being careful. I know some of us were, of course, slipping at times and that kind of thing, because of course it is, like I said, kind of, it wasn't the treacherous routes that we were on. I think we were on some medium and some easy, but it was still difficult to, of course, walk up like all those rocks, and when it's not like even ground like that. 'Cause I'm used to walking on like the even concrete or like the sidewalk, that kind of thing. The mountains or nothing like that. You have some trees coming up in some spots. You have those rocks And actually, they also had signs that was posted because we couldn't go down or finish some of the trails because they had falling rock and that kind of thing that was coming through as well. So we, of course, we knew that was dangerous because any place that you're walking in the mountains, that can, of course, happen. But I guess on those particular trails that they did not allow people at all because there was so much rock coming off and falling off that we can, of course, get hurt or get killed. I guess I can say that. Excuse me. And also speaking about different things, elements out there. There was, of course, river, I guess it was a river going, I'm not sure which river or a stream, I guess stream going through. And the people kept telling us, of course, that at any time we can have flash flooding and lots of water that can sweep things away. I'm like, oh my goodness. It never, of course, never happened to us, but they were just wanting to make sure that we knew that going through any kind of mountain like that if you're hiking, especially hiking, the driving as well, but the hiking is a lot more dangerous, of course, if can be any time, I guess, just without notice, any kind of flash flooding, just quick waters coming through, that kind of thing. So we, of course, had to make sure that we were looking out for that and make sure that we were all being safe. Like I said, that was something that we had to, of course, read through, make sure that we knew what we were doing, and, of course, following behind the folks that was in front of us. They were more experienced and that kind of thing as well, but we still, like I said, had a great time. This was the first time that I actually had, because I took the pictures up under the waterfall, not like in the water, but like a little bit from it. But there was a waterfall coming out of some of the rocks that was there. We took some beautiful pictures. And I have, like I said, I posted those on Facebook and Instagram. And once again, it's Tonetta Clay. So if you want to go look at those, definitely go and check them out. Because I climbed up one rock to take a photo and that kind of thing as well. And of course, I couldn't get up any farther. It looked like it was easy, but my shoes kept slipping. I'm like, I can't go up no farther on this rock. So I just had to stay on this small little, I guess, little platform, on this big old giant boulder. So like I said, that was interesting, like I said, but it was just beautiful things that you saw. I have never been surrounded by that much nature, I guess I can say that. And I know what the birds are called now. They're called ravens. I kept seeing these big, giant black birds, and I was like, what are these flying through? But now I know they're called ravens. But like I said, I don't think I saw any eagles, but we did see other birds. I don't know what they were called, but I did ask somebody what those birds were called, and I saw them posted as well on some of the stuff I was reading. So they're called ravens. I know that. But like I said, that was the beautifulest sight just to look up. And for miles, it seemed like to me it was just miles and miles and miles that you would just see just rocks and trees coming out of the rocks and plants and flowers and all these things. Like I said, I had never seen anything like that before in my life. The mountains yesterday in Las Vegas, yes, those were awesome as well. But just actually being able to actually put my feet to the ground and actually walk up that many miles of a national park, and I guess I call it a nature reserve as well. That was just the awesomest thing I've ever seen in my life, y'all. And we did, like I said, we did go through the waterfall. That was kind of slippery up under there, of course, and I did have a rail on that one, like a short rail on that one, actually. So you wouldn't, of course, fall over the thing and fall into the river, because it was very, very slippery, y'all. Very, very slippery. And I slipped a few times, so I know we have to, of course, watch our footing and that kind of thing, going through stuff like that, because like I said, it's not flat, it's all rocky and just, I guess, like a rocky terrain area that you're walking through. And then we saw these weeping rocks, meaning that, it's like the side of the mountain where these little holes were coming through and water was just coming out of them. It's similar to a waterfall, but it wasn't like a direct, a outpouring, that kind of thing. It was just it was crying. I guess you can say, or the mountain was crying. I guess you can say that. And that looks so beautiful, y'all. And like I said, right up under that, they had all kind of beautiful ferns and plants, and there was a little stream going through and that kind of thing. And actually, one of the streams we actually did go down to, we actually walked all the way down to, actually, because there was a little path that led down to this big stream. We took pictures down there as well, and I took pictures of the other people there. I guess so we could all have nice pictures to carry back home, have memories and that kind of thing as well. And I actually, walking across trying to get to the little platform where it was a little bit more dry, I actually ended up stepping in all the damn water, y'all. My shoes were soaking wet. My socks were soaking wet. I was like, what kind of craziness is this? But later on that day, I guess a few hours later, my shoes seemed to be dry and that kind of thing. Actually, on the way home, it seemed that my shoes were dry. So I'm just like, Lord have mercy. I was the one that stepped in all the water. My shoes was wet, like I said, just squeaky wet and everything. I was like, oh, I wish it was a good experience. But the water was cold as hell, y'all. I was like, oh my God, this water is freezing cold. But I was told that the mountain spring water is usually always colder and cleaner and fresher. And I was told by somebody that you can actually drink the water, that kind of thing, as long as it is in a fresh source, that kind of thing, especially if you're out there hiking and you're or you're lost or that kind of thing, you can definitely drink the water out there. I guess I put it that way. As long as it looks clean and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't have like any debris in it, that kind of thing. Just in case if you had to. I ran out of water and you really need that kind of water, that kind of thing, and you had no choice but to of course survive. You have to do what you gotta do. So but like I said, as far as me getting my shoes wet, y'all, that was an experience. I was, of course, cursed a little bit. I was like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. But I laughed about it afterwards. Like I said, that was an experience in itself. Just feeling the actual water and to feel it going like on my feet, my shoes, that kind of thing. And of course, like I said, it dried, which was fine. But like I said, that was just an awesome experience. And of course, by the time we got to like our last, we were actually trying to go to the temple. And it was so steep, y'all. Yeah, I think it was a medium course or medium trail. We only got like halfway up, and I'm like, I cannot. My legs were hurting. The kids was like, oh my God, I'm tired. I'm tired. Can we just stop? Can we just stop? I was trying my best to go and go and go. Y'all, my legs were so tired. I was so out of breath. I'm like, I cannot do any more of this. So we, of course, had to go back and walk down several miles, that kind of thing. But it was just tiring, y'all. I was like, I have never actually gotten to that point where I was just tired and couldn't do anything. My legs was hurting. Like I said, I was out of breath and I felt lightheaded. I was like, I cannot complete the rest of this. And one mistake we did make, you all, in planning, I guess, we didn't really plan the day, but just like went out there, just do whatever we was going to do and see what was going to come about, that kind of thing. So we did plan, of course, the road trip to how many miles, that kind of thing. But as far as the actual us looking up to see what's in the park and how things are going to go, we didn't do that at all. We just took our chances, went on down, and just decided to do whatever we could do while we were there. And this was, of course, an all-day trip. We got there about 2:30 and didn't leave till about 7, almost 8 o'clock. I think it was almost 8 o'clock, actually. So like I said, it was a long day, a lot of walking, that kind of thing. But the last trail, I could not even do. I was like, because I was pushing and pushing and pushing myself. I'm like, I can't even do this no more. It was just so steep, y'all. And I was like, nah, I can't do this no more. So like I said, we had to turn back around and go back, and we waited for the gas to come back, because they were going together to like the, I guess like an outlook point, that kind of thing. And actually on the way back down this trail, we saw this, a deer, like up in like right, maybe like 2 feet from us, like sitting up on it, like this little thin little rock. I'm like, how in the world they get up there anyway? But I guess they're experienced with that because it's the mountains and that's how they, of course, probably get around, that kind of thing. But it was a big old deer, y'all. I think it was a female deer, actually. And I almost fell because I'm like, oh my God, it's a deer. It's going to hurt us. But the people around us said that the deer are used to people walking through and they're not going to hurt us unless we try to attack them. So, of course, I got a picture, walked on by, that kind of thing, after I got over the fear of it. And everything was okay. So, like I said, as far as waiting on the fellas, getting back on the shuttle and going all the way back down to the actual visitor center, that's where we actually had our picnic. Tahira actually made everybody like sandwiches and brought like food and snacks, and because the only thing I brought was a banana, which actually busted in the car. So I guess because it was so hot, and I was like, oh my God, my banana's messed up. And I had a granola bar, which the chocolate on it, of course, was melted, so I couldn't really eat it. But like I said, thanks to Tahira, she actually brought us all waters and food and snacks and that kind of thing, chips and all those kind of things. So we all, of course, ate right before we got back on the highway. Used the bathroom, all those kind of things as well before we got back on the highway. And like I said, just sitting out there eating the lunch, or I guess it was dinner by this time, eating dinner and that kind of thing. I kept wondering what these little bitty birds, I thought they were actually butterflies. I didn't know what it was. But I was told that they were hummingbirds. I didn't realize hummingbirds was that small. And I think I saw some at the mountains yesterday in Las Vegas as well. But they're like these little tiny little small birds. They were moving so fast. I was like, what is that? Keep flying past her like that. But it was like a little tree like right behind where I was sitting, and there was like about 3 or 4 hummingbirds like coming over there and just hovering by. And I was like, at first I was like kind of like, are they going to run into us or what? But I guess that's just how fast they fly and how fast they go. I'm like, actually now I want to know how fast the wings flap per second or per minute. But I'll look up that another day. But like I said, there were some beautiful birds though. There were some beautiful like little small fast birds. And of course, y'all, after getting back in the car, we of course had to switch drivers, that kind of thing, to drive back. So of course, it was my time to, of course, sit back and relax and take some photos of what I can see until it got too dark that we couldn't take any photos. But on the way back, we actually stopped in this town called Virgin. I think it was still in Utah, but I know it was called Virgin because they had all these funny like little staged, I guess like buildings, and one of them was like an old school bank and one was like a jail, and that you like take pictures in front of. I guess like, well, not selfies, but I guess I take like big nice pictures in front of that you like locked up and that kind of thing, or like at the bank or like an old school bank or that. They had all kind of like cute little stuff. And then we actually stopped back at the places. I was like, I got to stop here on the way back. So we can of course experience this. They had a petting zoo, and it was all just $1 to actually get in, y'all, to actually see like they had llamas, they had goats, they had ponies, different things that were out there petting and that kind of thing as well. I took a few photos of that. Like I said, it's on Facebook and Instagram if you all want to check that out. But like I said, this was just an awesome trip, y'all. And of course, after we finished going to like that general store, I had about 2 homemade oatmeal cookies and as like a snack, and they had some other like little like trail mixes and pink popcorn and green popcorn, all these flavors. I mean, it looked really neat, like mint popcorn and all this kind of stuff. And I thought it was really, really neat, y'all. I mean, it was just awesome to me, which I had seen stuff like that before, but it was just neat. But this store was actually a Native American store, and I think we were actually in part of the reservation that one of the reservations that we were passing through. Actually, it was a reservation that we were actually in, but like I said, it was called Virgin. The town was called Virgin, right outside of Springdale, I guess. I don't know which other town was before that, but like I said, it was an Indian reservation. This store was Native American. They had all kind of dream catchers and different like Native American artifacts, I guess, in the store. I guess you can say that. It was just awesome. And of course, I'm one who likes to touch and feel things and see things. They had like cowboy hats and all. They had all kind of stuff in there, y'all. It was just neat. And the lady at the counter, of course, they were getting ready to close, like within 5 minutes that we came. But she was nice enough to let us go outside, like I said, to go to like the petting zoo and to actually take all the pictures we wanted to take before they, of course, officially closed down, that kind of thing. So that was nice of her, and I did thank her for that. So that was really, really awesome. And like I said, the drive back, y'all, we actually we thought we were actually on the drive back. My cell phone, I guess like halfway driving back, my cell phone was saying that it was one time and the time in the car was saying another. I'm sitting up like, what is going on? We never did realize that the time actually went up an hour, y'all, when you drive down to Utah. So we're just like, what in the world is going on with this time? We were driving for 3 hours and all this kind of stuff. But I think it was like 2.5 hours, I think. I don't know. But it seemed like we had drove for a long time because I guess the time difference. So like I said, it was an hour ahead, which we figured that out on the way back, which I know that now, I guess, to expect it the next time I do go on a trip like that, as far as the time zones go and that kind of thing, which we did not even realize then, like I said, until we got on the way back. So with that, y'all, like I said, this was my day number 4, was going down to Zion National Park in Springdale, Utah. We drove through, like I said, we drove about 2.5 hours through 2 Indian reservations down to Arizona for like about 20-30 minutes of driving, and then over to Utah. Like I said, that was an awesome trip. I will never forget that. That was very unforgettable. I will never forget that, the experiences, and my actual first time to actually hike that many miles in any kind of mountain, national park, anything like that. So like I said, that was just awesome, you all. And of course, I would love to experience that again. I'm sure I will at some point. It won't be right today, but I'm sure I will at some point, you all. But if you all ever get a chance to go down, definitely do check it out. It was beautiful. Like I said, it was just a sight to see that I had never in my life seen before. The mountains yesterday had nothing on these mountains today. Like I said, on day number 4 at the Zion National Park. I have never seen such tall beauty before like that in my life. Like I said, these mountains were, I don't know, just like tall skyscrapers. I have no idea how to even explain it, but they were just huge. Some of the rocks were like a reddish color. Some were like a grayish color. Some were like black in color, especially where there was like water coming out. They were like black in those areas. And some areas where there actually weren't water coming out. I don't know if it was the sun or what it was, but some of them were like darker in color as well. But like I said, it was just beautiful, you all. And the stream that was going through the water was just so clear and so pristine. I had never seen anything like that before in my life. So with that, like I said, that was my day 4 in Las Vegas / Utah, I guess you can say that. And I knew that whenever I went to Vegas that I was going to drive either to a beautiful national park or we were going to try to go to Grand Canyon. So we didn't go to Grand Canyon, but like I said, Zion National Park was beautiful as well. The next time I go back, I will make my way to Grand Canyon. I guess I put it that way. So, but like I said, with that, thank you all for watching this video. And I hope you enjoyed my day 4, talking about my trip down to Utah, to Zion National Park in Springdale, Utah. So everybody, have a great one. And I'll see you in video number 5. And that's my last day, actually. So you definitely want to hear this. Alrighty. Bye-bye.